Hiphoptictacticians of the world.
Hey everyone, what's up?
We are in the presence of Canadian hip hop royalty.
Yeah,
Royalty.
yeah. We're gonna big you up, brother. That's what this is about today.
On the same week that that they've announced postage stamps for Maestro Fresh West, we have another Canadian legend on our show, DJ Disspare.
I'm humbled. Thank you for saying yes.
Appreciate it.
We've been following your work for a really long time, but most recently came into contact with you personally back in October on one of your trips to Toronto.
Yeah.
We were at a showcase with Mike Guts and Mark Jordan.
Yeah, We Eat Beats presents.
And it was an interesting night because we didn't get started until way later than we were supposed to, but a few times I looked up and I saw across an empty room someone near the back that was nodding their head, and is that who I think it is? Okay. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
No problem. So how's everything?
It's going really well.
It's cold, but should I say cold to you? You're in Winnipeg.
You don't want to hear about it's cold from people in Southern Ontario when you're in Winnipeg, I'm sure.
Hey, try hearing it from people in the States, and I'm sitting there laughing like I'm just like I just got off 2 podcasts, and both 2 separate podcasts, and people talking about it's cold. One was affected by weather, and I'm like, what kind of weather you guys got out there? Like,
yeah.
I guess some of the states this weekend are supposed to get 4 inches of ice.
Yeah.
So that might affect some internet connections, I'm sure. But
yeah,
whatever. It's like you guys. It's like Toronto. Everything goes cold. Nothing is actually properly set up for winters, and everybody thought nobody will have snow. And Winnipeg is sitting here right now, coasting through all of this while everyone's having technical difficulties.
Yeah,
they still like school. Under it wasn't minus 45. They don't let you go to school. It was minus 44, and they still said go.
God damn!
Wow. So did you grow up in the Winnipeg area then?
Yeah, I grew up between here and Toronto. So
right on.
I was born here, but from I say the age of 8, 9, I was back and forth.
Okay. Winnipeg. So you're kind of like an anomaly like me. Like I was born in Labrador City. Grew up in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Not Dartmouth, Yarmouth. That's at the ass end of the province. The highway ends there. Let's be real. It ends there. There wasn't a lot that I could see that I had in common with, so to speak. I was in a French school, a French community, so it's a little odd. Let's just say that. And Jamaican parents. So yeah.
Hey, I'm Vinci parents, and I grew up in I did a French immersion, and a lot of our language backgrounds Creole, so it's a mixture of everything. So when you grow up with, you got to understand your environment makes you, and everybody said like, oh, you grew up in Winnipeg, but I grew up in a city where I made myself popular enough to be on a podcast like this with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you see, it's like. And I'm doing podcasts with major people because I took a small town mentality and made it bigger than what it is, because I had a lot of resources here that a lot of people don't have in other cities. Because when you're in a bigger city like Toronto, how many times do you DJ? How many times do you get called to DJ? There's how many DJs in Toronto? Sorry if I'm swearing.
No, that's fine.
Go for it. There's a saturation of DJs for the high paying gigs.
Yeah.
Right.
For my little lane, I get a lot of calls, but I don't do it to make a ton of money because there's, let's be real, not a lot of money in those shows.
There is if it's done right. You see, that's the problem. It is if it's done right. If the DJ and the promoter is working together, or the artist and the DJ is working together, there's ways of making money off merch, off the proper promotion, off sponsors, off everything. People nowadays just want to do a show. It's not like how it was in the 80s and 90s, where you had to go and find sponsors and people to do stuff. Now you just think social media is going to carry you.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, we noticed on your banner 1987, and Natalie and I are going through some growing pains here because I started this show in 1998, and I don't know honestly if anyone tunes into the college radio station to listen to it. People like our posts every week.
Yeah, they do.
We were running 2 hours a week up until a couple months ago, and then we dropped to 1 hour and no one noticed. And like, oh, let's drop down to a half hour. No one's noticed.
No one's always.
So we're kind of struggling to figure out, like where we fit in the next sort of era, and you've carried yourself through since 1987. So this is why we're on video today, because we're like, okay, we might make shorts of this afterwards, and we might make TikTok reels, whatever. Tell us about some of the different eras that you've lived through and how you got ahead of the game. Like, I know you have your own app, or you had for a while at least, and you're kind of on the cutting edge of internet radio when it came along. Like, you've been a pioneer in many cases in the DJ scene in Canada, at least. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah.
Well, it started out with I was breakdancing when I was younger, and I grew up with my dad and my uncles and people around me DJing. And all there was around my house was DJs. So guys building speakers, all this stuff. So it was just naturally there, and I had a niche for music. Plus, I did art too, and poetry and stuff, and I would write things. So over times, I had I basically was raised in this, if you want to kind of completely say it, because my parents were only my parents had me when they were 20. So I grew up with them and their friends, my uncle and his friends. So I got an opportunity to actually be that little black kid in the movies that you see that running around watching everybody when they're doing the house parties and seeing. So over time, when I got older, I started, I don't know, it's like one day I just gave up toys, everything, didn't want to touch none of that stuff, didn't care. And then I was sitting there, my dad gave me my first tape deck and amp and speakers. And my godmother, this Caucasian woman, Lori, she was also in the restaurant business. So she was connected to everybody in the industry. So there's restaurants and stuff. And she knew all the record execs, people that would come and sit in her restaurants, all the things. So over the years, I ended up just knowing these people like uncles, or like my godmother's friend, Uncle Richard, and none of this. And one day I'm sitting there just he's like, you take this DJ thing serious, eh? And I'm like, why? And he's like, you want to be in a record pool? And I think I was 14, 15, my first record pool. And I was working at the restaurant, and me and my boys were doing paper routes. So we'd take $150 every month and go pay for the records.
Oh, so cool.
And then it became a business. So that was the first time we actually started a business.
Oh my God.
Getting out together, and my friend Darren and my friend Chris, and rest in peace, and a couple of, it's his birthday today, actually, rest in peace. There's a few guys that I played basketball with that this guy Jim and a bunch of, we just hung out together and just liked music. Plus I was DJing, and I was the only DJ on the block. So I grew up in a suburbs. So it, at the time, people look at that as the suburbs, but it was just a nice area. You know what I mean? And I got to be around a bunch of privileged kids that I got to go to their pull up and do their little house parties and backyard parties. And then we started printing mixtapes. Then during the era when CDs started to kick in, I started collecting tape decks. So we would stack tape decks in my room, where I'd have about 10 tape decks. Then we started to find the dual ones that could actually record both sides. So we started to learn how to set all that up and piggyback them. I don't know, I was technical savvy since a kid, and I learned how to do things. I was able to take a mixer. I took a tape deck that had the balance in the middle, and took the 2 channels and basically put everything into red and everything into white. So I had left and right. And then I would turn around and mix with that and record directly into the tape deck.
Wow.
And eventually getting, stepping up mixtapes, started selling mixtapes. My first mixtape that actually went viral and went places is when I was 16 years old. My mixtapes were in Buffalo and Play the Record in certain places.
That's dope.
And I started to find them being bootlegged at certain stores, like the guys who own my boy owns a Jump Off. One day I walked into he used to be at flea markets. And if you remember Toronto flea markets back in the days, like the big one that burnt down there when people used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
I went in there one time and I'm seeing this dude sitting there, my mixtape sitting on his table, and I didn't know whether to rush him or say what's good. Like because at that time I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what bootlegging was. You know what I mean? And for being bootlegged from the time I was 16 to what mixtapes kind of slowed down in the past, say 2015, 16.
Yeah.
From digital era. So, going from physical mixtapes to I wanted to play my friends. Nobody else was DJing. So I put them on my mixtapes. Did radio like you guys did from the time of the 90s and all that stuff. And funny thing you say that, I was on a conference, another interview a couple of weeks ago with a bunch of DJs from the States. And one DJ popped up and said he heard of me from 1998.
Wow.
Remembered me from 1998 when we met in Toronto at Caravana. And I was just like, and I remember those days because I used to slime mixtapes at Caravana.
That makes sense. That'd be a place to do it.
When it was still on University.
And at the time too, when I was doing music, I was studying the Toronto culture of how music was being presented. So I started studying like my peers, like Power, DTS, like Soul Controllers, and like all that, and Mastermind. We used to go back and forth with the mixtapes. SARS used to go across, pushing mixtapes and stuff, and we connected on things. And over the years, you get different people that were actually pushing the mixtape era that people weren't paying attention to.
Right.
And between Soul Controller mixtapes and Mastermind mixtapes, it was a dangerous game. Because the Mastermind mixtapes, you got to hear a lot of the rappers you didn't know about. So you got to hear their stuff being remixed and introduced to rappers through dub plates and different, like Tough Dumpling blew up on both sides. And then I had an opportunity to work with him over the years, and hip hop was really heavy, but a lot of people weren't playing hip hop. It was club techno, house, all that parts. You had to go in and play rock. You know what it was like, play rock, hip hop, and everything just to fit into the bar. Just so you can put your agenda.
Yeah. And for the radio too, like I'm glad you mentioned Tough Dumpling. To get to that 33% Canadian in the 90s was sometimes difficult with a longer show, unless you were playing the same records every week.
Yeah.
And we had Tough Dumpling bed tracks like right out of the gate, and that was a huge part of our Canadian content. And like shout out to him and R.I.P. Quesro, and we spent actually at least July, half of the summer on we listened to every Tough Dumpling episode or every Tough Dumpling album, per week on our show this summer.
Leading up to his new release. It was awesome.
And then being part of two of the releases, like the Welcome to the True North, and then this one now with the mixtape, it just kept the formula of what we were growing up and doing. And a lot of people don't understand is when music switched where underground hip hop, you either had to fit in or become a club DJ. And then underground DJs, I was laughing because I could fit in both worlds, so I was using both worlds for my advantage.
Right.
But a lot of DJs that I was dealing with, like everybody was so stuck to the radio mixtapes. That was one part, but there was no money in it.
Right.
after the whole seizure with the mixtape stuff that happened with Toronto and Violator and all the different stuff in the stores, and those fines got hit, and it killed the whole mixtape scene for a good minute. And then digital came out, and then toys came out, and then that shit changed to the next level where I started working with building mixtape sites with people and working on certain mixtape sites and getting on mixtape torrents and all these different things that really don't exist anymore now. And then being Spinderella coast to coast and just finding platforms to expand, because now it's not even the stores anymore. No one's going to buy this shit anymore. No one's going to go and grab it anymore. So now how are you going to make money off this now?
Yeah.
Turn to giving artists an opportunity to be placed on the mixtapes after I built a buzz for it again.
Right.
And you just got to find, like, every time, and I try to teach this to a lot of people, is that the equipment change, the technology changes, the platforms change. So how do you stay relevant for that long period of time?
Right.
You got to learn technology. You got to learn the business. You got to learn things now, because it's not just DJing anymore. You got to be a promoter, marketing, advertising, booking agent, stage engineer. There's so much to it now. Half of the times when you're DJing now, these rappers don't even have their music properly set up.
Oh boy.
Well, I know it.
Boy. That's a hot topic for this one.
So we talk about that a lot on here.
It's frustrating though. Like, from somebody from the outside just watching you guys, like, I can see your face when somebody comes up. You already were given their set list, right? The tracks and everything. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, last minute, they're like, just want to slide in and be like, okay, I just want to rearrange this, this, and this. But you're not respecting my time at this point then. You should have been ready with what you said. You should be prepared. Why are you now trying to just adjust like that? Or you now have to go find it because you don't have it to begin with. Something brand new.
Or walking across the stage while someone else is performing.
That happens?
Oh, it happens.
Or right when you're
every show.
In the middle while you're DJing a set, they'll come and talk to you about their set while you're doing something else's set.
I would think that would not be a good thing. Why would I want to do that?
That's the only reason I bring a laptop anymore.
Because it's ignorance.
I switched about a year ago to playing off the iPad, and I've been practicing at home off my phone, plugged in through all this stuff still. I use Phase, and the phone has just as powerful as a brain as the computer does now.
Yeah.
But the difference is I can walk into any bar and just plug in with a USB-C adapter and I'm ready to go. I don't need a backpack.
But you're doing that out of the goodness of your heart, right? Would you prefer to do that?
I want to do that, yeah.
Okay.
I want to, ever since we got stuck in that alley with 4 feet of snow and Techniques 1200s, I want to travel as light as possible everywhere I go.
Forgot about that. That's not good. I liked how you said because it's ignorance. So I know you probably are on the same page as me when it comes to protecting your intellectual property, right? So I don't know how many artists, independent artists, I'm not sure if you even mentor any of the people that come through your gates. If you do, I'm sure they're pretty blessed and listen to your ass. But for those that, I don't even know how to even say it because it's a hot topic. I used to work for SoCan. I was there for quite a while. I wasn't in the membership department. I'm a technical girl. So I was on that side, but I took the time to understand the business. And because I was making my own music, I wanted to make sure I was doing the right stuff, protecting myself. And I find with a lot of the people that we interview, they know nothing of protecting your intellectual property.
Let me play something, okay? When we got into this music game, there was two sides of the game. There was the rappers who could rap, but knew they're geeks. Yeah. They knew the schoolwork, they knew how to do the shit, blah, blah, blah. Then there was guys like us that we were intellectual, but because of society and the way being a geek was portrayed back in the 80s and 90s, you really didn't want to show that you knew shit. Because if you knew shit, you were put down for knowing shit. You had to have that look. You had to have glasses. You had to be that. You couldn't just be a normal person and be smart.
Right.
And what people didn't understand is DJs are very intelligent.
Yeah.
To learn how many beats per minute, to be able to take apart a turntable, put it together, all these different things that a lot of people did not understand on the technical side, how to blend two records together. We were producing from the time we started DJing.
Very
But
true.
people did not see that because when you look at the world and the way everything is portrayed, just like you're saying, like I've been on radio from time. We started our first pirate radio, but it didn't start from digital. I was on AM before that.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't know how to pirate into AM. One day I got a pirate thing, learned how to figure it out, made an antenna, and I was on AM.
There
You know what I
go.
mean?
Beautiful.
Like, but if you don't understand how far people came through this era of music to figuring out how to do shit like that and how to actually evolve and then be outside of, like, I'm gonna go to the club every week and play the same shit. Cool. I'm a zombie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play every week and play the same crap. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
introduce no music. I ain't gonna play my hometown friends. I ain't gonna play the people that I know come in every week to buy drinks. I ain't gonna play their music either. And you're just sitting there consistently feeding to the norm. So then
Yeah.
how do you as an artist get to come out there and go listen to your music in the club if your own hometown won't play?
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Right? And then you shit on the DJs like us that actually will take that risk to play you. And then from the mixtapes to the radio shows to all the stuff, but you're not supporting that because you just want to be in the bar and popping bottles. So you're like, oh, radio's dead and this is dead and da-da-da. Okay, so you got an album release. Where's the podcast interviews? Where's the radio interviews? Radio's dead. Really?
Yeah.
Where's the I'm just like, but if you're not on Sirius Radio, I can't really listen to you. I'm like, oh wow. Okay.
That's ridiculous.
And I go, so now you're on YouTube, I can't watch you, I'm on TV.
Right.
I'm on Roku and Amazon, so I can't watch you. You got to be like that? I go, well, you just said you don't listen to me because you don't hear me on Sirius, but let alone on iHeart and everything else. But because I'm not on there with a big show on Sirius Radio, and just like people are like, oh, well, we're number one podcasters over here. Oh, well, no, this is number one podcast. Like the whole world is based on hate, misconstrues, people that don't want to see you actually blow up as an artist or a DJ. DJs beat up on other DJs too. Sometimes people go early stages of Serato. How many times does somebody go switch the channels on you?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like every time you're evolving, there's also that trail of I'm gonna drop mixtapes. Okay, now I'm done doing mixtapes. Where do I go from here? How do I put my music out or play? How do I get seen? I love watching those videos online of people DJing and doing these little DJ sets. But I would like to be in the room with you toe to toe where we do that on the fly.
Straight up.
Because anybody could practice a routine.
Yeah.
You could jump on anybody's set and just play. That's not something that people are trained for.
Right. That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because look at how many of these DJs these days, everybody wants to scratch, but there's a technique to the scratch and a pattern to the songs in the scratch. Not just right in the fucking middle of a song and start doing some whack-ass scratch just to make it look good for YouTube. What are we doing with this?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Like nothing is done for the party, it's done for the gram.
Yeah.
And I think we're heading in a direction where everybody kind of tailors their own online experience and at-home experience with AI and the rest of that. And hopefully the live experience is what is different and what is something you can't get at home. And people will want to see the mistakes again and, have a real life experience instead of, sorry, your phone's closer, but just...
It's true though. It's true. That's why I like to go, that's why I was at that event in October, because he was going to be DJing, and I knew I know that I'm probably, maybe I'm biased. I am biased. I'm not even a friend. But I'll know that I'll hear something that I'll appreciate from him because we like the same stuff, or he'll surprise me and introduce me to something new that I might have heard through something else without realizing it. So it's like a learning relationship every time I go to an event where he's spinning. But I don't get that from every DJ, just like what you said. They'll just be up there playing a standard, just a set list.
Some people are selfish, right? They'll go in and just play what they feel that they think is like what they like, or they're playing safe, or they're doing all the stuff, right? It's like
Mhm.
there's not a lot of DJs that have that bold confidence where it's like you said, like you're sitting there and DJing, and I'm sitting in the back, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And I just finished coming from a boat cruise, and I trucked my way down there just to come and catch that and meet up with Jenny Old School and all that. And when I know Mike Guts, I've shown up to a lot of his shows whenever I'm in town, and I appreciate what you guys do for your your community, but also at the same time, you're still a tight knit of friends that is not expanding out with other people because it's just the same friends that are coming out to the same shows
Yeah.
to support, right? And then you get after a while, it's just like, how do you branch out? How do you get that like, why are we doing these shows now?
Yes.
Mhm.
What's the purpose of it? So
Right.
yes, I'm gonna do a release party, but where's the physical copies? Where's the vinyl? Where's the CDs? Where's the clothing? Where's everything?
Right.
Half of these
And that's
guys don't even
something you recommend, obviously. Like, so if
right.
an independent artist, I'm not going to say I'm one, but somebody just off the block respected you, I loved all your work, heard of you and all that stuff, and they sat there and said to you, okay, I've got this album coming out. I want to do A, B, and C. Um, would you take the time if, I'm sure it would depend if you could see their earnesty in their request, because I'm like that. If you're just going to ask me and I'm going to give you direction and you're not going to do it, then you just wasted my time. I've been in that situation before where it just wasted my time. So I'm just wondering, do you do that type of stuff if somebody were to come up to you and say, what are your
I do,
thoughts?
I do, and I did, and now I have a statue of limitation with my shit now because
I love it.
if you don't have a business number, I can't fuck with you. Plain and simple.
Fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't got your soul can register, all your other shit not registered. If you don't even got a business number, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're keeping it
Because
real.
it's like, why would I hire you without a resume?
Right.
Why would I give you a promotion without experience? So
Perfect.
why is it that you feel as an artist that you should be on stage when you've never performed before? That you should have people buying your albums if you never marketed it? If
Mhm.
you want something, you got to go make people want it. It's like, why do people eat Oreo cookies? You see it everywhere.
Yes.
Why do
Yes.
kids go to McDonald's, the Arch? Why do people do things? So over the years, you got to think about, why is everybody eating shawarmas now? Because every time you turn around, people are talking about shawarmas. Shawarmas this, shawarmas that. Like it's in movies, it's in TV shows. It's called why do people listen to a lot of music? Because they hear it in movies, TV shows. Everything is like, whenever you're watching anything and Drake's about to drop an album, 5 movies or TV series will mention his name
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
within that week. The and the TV networks and the pot, like, the next thing you know, whenever artist is rolling out, and you could tell by the level of artists that they don't need to do this anymore, where in the beginning they need to get on the interviews, in
Yeah.
the middle they need you to be on the interviews, in
Yeah.
your highlight excuse me,
That's
they
Bless you.
need you to be now they need you. And then when you're at your highlight, you're just like, okay, I'll do this next week. I'm not going to do this ever again, or I might do this. Now you're just picking and choosing because now you're getting paid to
Yeah.
be in every single spot and all that. But to get there, you can't just tell me, hey, I'm dropping an album tomorrow and I want the same interviews as 50 Cent.
That's just ridiculous. Why?
Yeah.
And anybody would be an asshole to say that.
But you see, that's how. But the game feels privileged like that because if you're in your house cooking yourself food, people want to come in and eat your food. But if they're at home cooking food and you call them up and say give you a plate, they'll say, "Fucking, don't you have your own food?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, as an artist and as a DJ and as a business person, how do you look at the structure? It's like when I'm in my DJ booth, that's my house. So you come in my house, you want me to play something for you, respect my house. For the time that I'm on that stage and I'm playing for you and I'm putting you on and making you look good for your 5 to 10 minutes that you're on stage, I still got 5 other guys like you I got a DJ for. Then you want to give me attitude because your recording wasn't done properly, your mastering wasn't done right, you forgot your lyrics. Sometimes I have to say people's ass. Well, you notice where they forget their lyrics, and as a DJ, if you're good, you'll reel it back or do something to save them or whatever. But a lot of people can't be like that because if you're not professional, you're doing a job that you're just thinking, hey, I bought a controller today, I'm a DJ.
Yeah. Damn.
Right?
You just spoke the word right there.
Who are teaching DJ schools and classes who never really had that experience of being a real technical DJ. They're just teaching the basics of, come in the room, plug in your fucking controller and start playing. No. Every time I go in the room, there's no warm up to anybody's playing anymore. They're playing hits right off the hop, just waiting for people to come in. And if those people come in later, they'll go back and play some of those hits that they played earlier in the night. And I'm just like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like there's no life to it anymore. There's no soul to playing anymore.
And also like opening DJs. I went to Bassett's Barbecue. I've gone probably the last 6 out of 7 years. And this past summer, I saw the same DJ set 6-7 times maybe.
Oh, yeah. You told me that.
Russell Peters played the same thing and then starting from scratch. And then they all played the same shit basically. I heard Scenario 8 times. I love Scenario, but
yeah. So what do you feel about like something like that when it's like an
event?
There's a reason why,
and I'll put it out there. There's a reason why myself and a lot of DJs and I don't play well in rooms because I could go anywhere I want. A lot of DJs stay in the same zone because they play every week. So they have the same patterns to everything they do every week, and they have different sets that they play everywhere. So if you've been playing for 30 years straight in the same bars, radio stations, and all this stuff and everything, you're going to have a routine that's going to be a hit. So everywhere you play, that's going to work for you. You see, there's a lot of DJs that are not what you call freelance technical, where they could just go in the room and go, all right, fuck it, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have sets. A lot of things. I did a festival last year and I walked.
Or maybe like DJ Premier's the headliner. Maybe I shouldn't play any DJ Premier songs today.
But what were you saying? You're about to tell us a story. What was that?
Like I was about to say that. Like sometimes the DJ will go in the room and start playing what the other DJ or artist made. And I'm sitting there going, how do you not know? I've been in rooms where I had to stop gangsters from beating up DJs because they're playing at the time they didn't realize that this artist was signed to Bad Boy when Tupac wrote that song. So why would you play that song if that nigga's in the same room?
Don't do that.
Right? But there's certain DJs that don't listen. Wow. They just play. Right? So you got to think about it now. It's like, if I'm in a room and I know this nigga did a diss track on this nigga, and I'm going to go play that diss track when that nigga walks in the room, I'm expecting to get my ass kicked.
Yes.
I'm expecting to get into a fight. Right?
Yeah.
There's times where, like, even with the Bloods and Crips situation, it was like there was times where people didn't know how to play, like, couldn't go in the room and play certain songs because certain people were saying different things and all that stuff. So it's not like, and I'd be a dickhead and play both and go back and forth. But a lot of people can't. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this straight up. Since I've been in this DJ game, I never cared if you had issues with each other. I'll put you on the same mixtape. I never cared. And I had DJs in the States tell me, And I had this actual talk with Bigger Rankin one time. He was like, there's no way you could put two people on the same mix. Like, niggas got beef on the same mixtape. I said, why not?
Why not?
It's our mixtape. I ain't out there. I ain't in those situations. So if you're telling me as a Canadian artist, I got to pick a side, you all ain't getting played in Canada then.
Straight up.
Because if in the States, I can understand. If you're in Texas and this nigga from this side of Texas or this one from Carolina doesn't like North Side Carolina, I get it. Everywhere's got their things, right? And there's sometimes that I've worked with certain rappers and stuff and crews where we actually unified by doing mixtapes, by unifying the community, by unifying rappers to rap together. And it doesn't get exploited out there enough to be talked about, but it has happened. But then it's the DJs that got to take that step and say, all right, fuck the politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do this and stuff, because everybody's so straight up right now in this music game going, oh man, homie shot my cousin and I can't listen to that record. And if you play that record, I'm going to have to shoot you. And it's just like, whoa, wait, yo.
Why'd we have to do that?
I would say like the most recent, even mainstream example of that would be last year when I didn't really want to play my kid's favorite song in public, which was the most popular song in the world, Not Like Us, because of shit that was happening to DJs.
That's not cool.
You see, this is the funniest part. Did that shit happen when Pusha T situation happened? Did that shit happen when the Meek Mills thing happened? Like, you got to look at the levels of all the different beefs.
Yeah.
And the times DJs are still playing Meek Mills and Pusha T right now.
Yeah.
Of course.
They are.
Right? So just because certain things were done a certain way, like if you look at the Tupac situation, the Nas and Jay-Z still stand in pictures together.
They still do.
And Ether was pretty dangerous.
It was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But if you really go back to hip hop history, MC Shan and KRS One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. MC Hammer and Michael Jackson.
There you go.
Rick James and Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. One was super freak, and the other one was super sexy. The life just went different ways. Like Prince, if you looked at Prince, it was the only dude that could walk on stage and come out with fur boots and tights on and a wife beater.
Yep.
The only dude.
and he was the only dude that could literally walk up to your girl with a perm and a blouse and steal your bitch.
Steal her. Like that.
Like, then you have to say nothing. And just like walk on. And just sit there just like
You might as well say bye.
It wouldn't matter. You can come out of the back room and be like, yo, come here. Go right it's just like it's you gotta look at what made people who they were. As shy as Michael was and all the other stuff and everything, Michael was a badass. Joe taught those kids how to fight. People knew how to do things. But just because we were timid at certain points in your life where you were taught to fight, but you were taught to fight when it was necessary. But if you went and whooped somebody's ass, you got dealt with after.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
you were kind of confused as a child whether or not to go fight, not fight. If I didn't fight, I would get the ass kicked. And if I didn't fight and if I fought and I messed up the shirt and shoes, then I got to go home and deal with this. So there's times where me and my cousins used to get into fights with people and take off our shoes right beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you understood.
We'd fold them, put them on the side, and be like, what are you guys doing? Don't worry about it. Just deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we knew that well, if you got home and the shirts got ripped, everything there was a questionable situation.
Oh, absolutely a questionable situation.
Yeah.
You just get the one look from one of the parental units, and you're like, all right. Do what you gotta do.
So now being a DJ on stage, and the rapper's pissed off at you, and in your brain the whole time is, if this nigga brings a drink on stage, if this dude tries to come and fight, and I remember watching one guy turn around and grab the turntable arms and twist them the other way on a DJ. I've watched guys ruin guys' needles and stuff just because of things. Just because they're drunk and being a pain in the ass. So what do you do in those situations?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, because at a certain point, you're also it's crowd control and security, right? Because you're the conductor for the whole room, and in a big room, if just because the MC's an asshole,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, you've had to shut down a show before
I have.
when things kind of got a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Have you ever? You've been in that situation before too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was in Calgary, and then I was doing this one show. I can't remember who the fuck I was with. It was a big time reggae crew too.
Oh
And we're in
gosh.
the basement, and I was DJing my set, and supposedly somebody had a beef with somebody. Long story short, 2 shots went off, and somebody's arm got cut off. You know what I mean?
It'd have to be Yachty's. All right.
No, it was Haitians, and and when I was in fuck, where was it? I was at another show. I think where the fuck was it? I can't remember. We were doing a show, and all I remember is jumping from the DJ booth onto it was a rapper. I can't remember who I was with, but it was a big name rapper, and he said something at the show, and people tried to rush him on the stage, and I had to jump in. It was like, because over the years you had rappers that came into Winnipeg. Now you gotta understand something about Winnipeg. It's not an easy city. Like everybody thinks, Winnipeg is.
No,
Winnipeg.
not at all.
No, it's not an easy city, right? So when you come out here, they call it Stabatoba for a reason.
Oh my.
And like literally I've been stabbed 5 times in the heart. Like literally I got stabbed 5 times on my main artery. This city does stand by its word. There's people out here that will stab you. There's people out here that will take you out if you're better than them. Beefs break out in every little house party areas and stuff. You got to have a thick skin to be around places and to do things, because it's like, picture you took every rapper in Toronto in the tri-state area and they all lived in Toronto.
Yikes.
And they all had to compete with each other for just Toronto.
Oh God.
Right? So you're sitting there now, you got to so the whole city is small, where everything you can get to is in 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Now you got a lot of indigenous culture, African culture, East Indian culture, and a lot of immigrants and a lot of people here. So you got a lot of people who came here from third world countries or reses or different things that grew up differently. So there's a lot of mental problems and stuff from the way they grew up, from slavery is one thing, but you're a child slavery of war and you're a child casualty of things and stuff. You're coming into a country where you're free. So now you want to be a DJ, you want to be an artist, you want to be all this stuff. But then it's like there's no history anymore. So who's teaching this what, or who's learning what? So you got a bunch of guys that came up here and their track record of music starts with Robin Banks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then down. So it's like nobody knows Maestro. Nobody knows, unless Maestro did a song with those guys, nobody would know who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless until Ronnie did that song with Maestro and all those other guys, a lot of people didn't know who Jellystone or everybody else was, because who's actually teaching that? Which DJs are actually in the club still playing these guys to this day?
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so you're going to the besides us, like I'm not even going, but there's still DJs from our era that stuck to the craft that will, no matter where we play, we'll still play the legends to the new. But then there's guys who will stick with the new and forget the legends and say we're old. That's why coming out with that Welcome to the True North album that I see you holding there, that situation came from,
he did that on purpose.
Guys in COVID, and we're all sitting and talking on the phone, and I was working with Thrust and Rickshaw and Tough Dumpling and and Anubis and Navi, and things were just I was doing the mixtape thing crazy, but I was working with these kids and I was getting tired of these kids to the point where I want to go back and work with my peers.
Right.
And then that came out as When's the last time Toronto had a compilation? When's the last time Canada had a compilation? When's the last time there was a Beat Factory? When was the last time there was, what was the other one? The rhythm, True Rhythm, like there was a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
Essential records and all that. So you never. So when you got those records, you knew each artist that was popping and coming up out of Toronto, from Red Light to Chaos to Choclair to things like even the first album. When all of those stuff was being introduced, it was like, here's a compilation. Oh, dope. Oh,
I remember that.
Shows on here. Oh, cool. And and you played those things. Then you got the singles. Then you got the remixes. Then you got this and then when it came down to okay, we're gonna drop Let's Ride. Boom. Then there was a whole. You walked into the club and it was like the album cover puked all over the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no release parties anymore. There's no pre-advance copies anymore. There's nothing. Nobody even knows what the hell a DJ pack is right now. And you telling me you come from an era of music, how long you've been doing it, you don't know what a DJ pack is?
Right?
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Frustrating.
Yeah, well, the only big rollout I've seen, even on a major scale, the way it used to be, was the clips.
Yeah.
They did a 90s style promo for this album, which was decent enough, but it did big because of the promo.
No, especially with the Tough Dumpling album, the way we came, so now coming from the True North album, he dropped his other album too, Foundation for Better, and then that woke up people, because with that album now you have the singles that we had leaked out, put out there for Spotify, certain things, but you got to get the album to get the rest of the album.
Yes.
Right. And that's where you got to change the game right now to how we're going to present it now and how we're going to get people to actually buy music.
Right.
Because your sales means everything right now. And if you can't sell an album or a unit, what the hell are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about streaming then?
I use it as my advantage to sell the units.
Okay.
So you see, it's right now, before you even put it on the streaming platforms, you should be setting it up as a markup for sales and then going into the streaming aspect.
I don't think many people understand that.
No.
Because they're ready to just drop it on Spotify, iTunes, and they leave it at that.
Well, it's not even that. You just literally recorded the album, jumped out of the studio, and want to put it out.
Yeah.
None of our projects have ever jumped until, if you look at all the songs that we have released for right now from our camp, from the stuff I've been working from Feel was dropped, I could say the end of, it was made 2023, 24.
Okay.
Choclair didn't jump on it until after, when we did the other version and brought Choclair in. And then, so the first version was with Private. It was a good look, but we didn't want to come too hard right off the hop, because at the same time I was working with Jay Wise's project, so we came out with him right off the hop. So right off the hop, we're coming out with that nigga, and everybody's just like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it was Tough Dumpling jumps on the remix, and it's ooh, and then the next version comes out, and then it's Eclipse and Jay Wise, and then it's a Black History Month version where it's Black Vegas. That's fucked everybody's head. So where does the pattern of, when you remember when a Biggie track dropped, then Craig Mack dropped Flavor in the Year, then there was remix, then later on you would have the male remix and then the female remix, and then all these different little things would come out, right? So how does people now give you that wow factor? It's oh shit, I need to hear that. Oh shit, they're still playing the record, but the record is being revised with this, and it just keeps going to the point where I want to hear the record now. I need to hear the record.
Yeah.
And the hook is everything. So when Private came to me with this record, he's like, "Who don't learn, they gonna feel." I'm just like, man, my grandma been telling me this since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And then it's
Yeah.
just and then it became a heavy hook that is catchy. Every Caribbean household knows this damn song, like
Yeah.
that sentence. And to have a legend like Choclair and an up and coming artist like Private Name and myself being a project together like that, it worked.
It did.
And if you're an older DJ, you have to reach out to the younger guys to keep relevant, because there's certain guys that grew up to you that rap like you.
Yeah.
But everybody's so focused on, I want to go rap with the Americans or the bigger artists on stuff.
Yeah.
But you're sleeping on the pioneers of your own city that would be dope for you just to do a track with anyways, because you never know how far it will go.
Yeah.
And
so I've been
speaking of that track specifically, a few weeks ago I was at the Transit Music release party in Toronto, and when they put it on and the words DJ Disspare play through the whole place, like that song rang off, and he ran it back a couple of times too, the DJ that was there. I can't remember who was playing that night, but yeah, they played your track a couple times.
But you see, the thing is, it was a track that I worked with for Private, and it became dope to get, like, he brought me the idea, we made a move, got Choclair involved, I made a phone call, we were on three-way, next thing you know, the track was put together.
Right.
And also I was working on a couple other things at the same time, but that alone made sense. Then at the same time, I had Jay Wise's album coming, and then I had the 26 tracks with Tough Dumpling, where it made sense from that point to go, wait a minute. So now we're doing all this. He sends me this track and goes, yo, do you think Shocks would jump on this? And I listened to it. And the more I'm listening to it, I'm just like, Private Name's calling me and he's like, I need some hard old school 90s beat. I need a rap on something 90s. Like, I sent the email to him. While we're on the phone, he's writing that verse for Easy.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting there going, all right, we got to run with this. Set it to Tough Dumpling. Then next thing you know, boom, Easy was created.
Yeah.
And then Private came up with the hook and everything stuff. But it's like, I'm looking for artists that are hungry right now that want to take that, like, any opportunity that's given to them, they're going to have it back to me within 24 hours. They're going to show me that hunger. Right. And next thing you know, Tough Dumpling recorded his verse, and then that went, and then Jay Wise did Morning and Meds, and then all these things just started to happen like quick. And then it was like, let alone after that, it got 26 features on an album.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
No money behind it, no promo. Like, the promo, we did the radio promo, we did the marketing, we did everything in-house. And that shit went so fast between the two of us just setting things up. We had a good talk with Rick Transfer and people, but when it came down to executing the plan,
right,
I'd wake up in the morning, here's the new promo for the morning. Okay. Here's the new promo for the next day. Okay. And it's just every day we kept posting another song. Every week we kept posting another thing until it got so anticipating to people. Once we dropped it on the radios, once you got the interviews with you guys, once everybody started to analyze the albums, it took life of its own. I called him on his birthday, like 2 days after his birthday. I'm like, yo, how's you doing? He's like, good. What'd you do for your birthday? He's like, I went and did a bunch of shit. I was like, what are we doing with the album? He's like, let's just leave it for a minute. Let's just let it marinate. I'm like, okay. Next morning I wake up, it's like best album on Bandcamp. I'm like, okay. I guess we let it marinate. It was just like, but it was just, when you do something that you love and you're putting the love into it and you're happy for it and it sounds dope and you are happy about putting out that project, I will never feed you a plate of food that looks disgusting.
There you go.
So why would I put my music out there and not present it properly?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I love that line. I would never present you food if it wasn't tasty. I know I just revamped that a bit, but I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
for one, the taste is one thing, but the presentation sells it all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting there and like, coming on podcasts and doing things like that, just having your background done right, having things done right, you can't say that, hey, I'm a celebrity, this and that, and then you come on here looking janky as fuck. Like, where are you trying to go with shit like that? Like, it's just like,
Oh shit.
you know what I mean? It's like you tell me you smoke weed and then you're pulling up bushweed. And it's just like, I don't get
That's not weed. Anyway.
Yo, I've had a bag of weed handed to me one time, and I looked at it like this and threw it back. And then the person just looked at me and just got mad. And I just, every time he threw it back at me, I grabbed it again, looked at it the same way, and threw it back. Like, I've literally stepped on a blunt and really, like, right in mid smoke, just threw it on the ground and stepped on it and rolled another one and said, "Smoke this." Like, if you don't stand by your brand and your quality, why even stand at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on, like I'm gonna go to the studio, spend all this time, money, record, do all these tracks to jump on stage and be like, oh, I forgot my lyrics. Shit.
I've seen
Can you
that.
play the backup vocals, please? And then they're just on stage like this.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We've seen
They're not
that.
even looking at the crowd. Like,
They don't even do their ad libs at that point.
It's just like,
At least say your own ad libs.
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why? I'm just gonna dance around on stage, just like what like. If you understand it, when we used to watch shows back in the days, was to get a proper stage performance. Who puts on a proper stage performance now?
Not a ton of people, if I'm being honest. Not a ton of people.
Sorry to cut you, but how many times do you practice with artists?
The small core of people, a very small core of people, and I DJ probably, I don't know, last year was probably 30 or 40 shows.
Yeah.
And I probably rehearsed with 4 of them.
Yeah. I always thought that was supposed to be a thing, like playing music and being a singer, like you're supposed to rehearse with whom you're playing with.
Mm-hmm.
Get that energy together, like just vibe off of each other, and then you know what you're about to go present to the world. You know, you don't want to act like you're about to go do karaoke, right? So I find it's a bit surprising when folks forget their lyrics.
Which is why I stopped planning shows, and I just, you want me to come and run the tracks and do a little Doors till the first thing?
Let me touch on that, though. You said something, karaoke. Cool. You got your lyrics in the background, you still forget your lyrics. Whose fault's that?
Mine. I'm not paying attention.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
if you're on
true.
stage and your lyrics are in your song and you can't remember the song, and I'm playing the song and the lyrics are in the song, and you can't remember your lyrics, and you're like, that's old, I don't want to perform that, I don't remember the lyrics. Dude, it's right here in the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And you can't remember your own song. That's old. Dude, old to who?
Old to who? Yeah, that's old to you. That means you weren't ready.
Yeah.
You weren't ready.
And how is it that you're going to tell me you put out an album that nobody's ever heard of, but those lyrics and songs are old, and you want me to happily put on another album for you?
Ouch.
Ouch.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in your area when you're presented with that. Just hit record. Just for your reaction alone. I think it would be a learning lesson for everybody. Like, don't do that. Come ready.
Here's your aux cord. I'm taking a smoke break.
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, I play music. I like to sing. I write. I have my own stuff out there, but I know when I'm ready and when I'm not ready. And I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I look like I'm not ready.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to have a heart failure on stage, just trembling with the microphone in my hand because I know I'm not ready. So why put yourself in that situation? Prepare yourself. Treat it as your art. this is supposed to be something that's practiced every day. Every day. Every day. If you love it, that's what you should be doing,
Actually,
as far as I'm concerned.
let me give credit where credit's due. I said not many. Ulysses.
Oh,
Ulysses is so well polished every time
yes.
we go anywhere.
Yeah.
That guy is so into his craft.
From
He's
the moment I
amazing.
heard him at the Planet Paradise, when what's his face? What's that crew? Anyway, we won't give them credit. I needed to know who that gentleman was. I was like, you sound different than everybody else. There's something different about your presence than everybody else. And there was a lot of weed smoke going on that night. Because again, you can smoke freely
Because
in this
you
place.
can tell he practices in the mirror every single day.
Yeah. But I just yeah. So here's my question to you, I guess. Where do you see our Canadian hip hop culture going in the next 15 years?
To truthfully answer that, I can't tell you where it's going to go in the next years because the pioneers that are running it, you don't know where they're going to be. And at this point right now with music, it's a jambalaya. So everybody's doing everything from hip hop, country to rock to whatever. So it's just going to be a mix of whatever. It's not going to be like you could say hip hop, but then you're doing country beats with hip hop lyrics. So where are we going with that?
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look at the whole thing with Canadian music, the only way things are going to like grow is if we actually sit as an identity and stand by our Canadian music.
To your point, in this era when everything is so reachable between cities, like we should be closer this way than we are.
So there's Pimpton, Prevel, Mocha Only. You see where we're going, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't pay attention to certain people that are in the industry. So you say Rascals, you say this and that, but it's just like every group and section had a different certain amount of people that was rapping with them. And Chaos is now in Vancouver, and there was like R&B singers and rappers like Trey Nice, Kaz, that was in the Warrior song with Matt Child. There was a lot of people around that a lot of people didn't realize that even in the beginning, Rascals and Swollen members were dirty, rotten scoundrels like Rascals, right? Yeah. So you got to look at two different eras of music where things switched. So everybody looked at when the Circle joined together, you saw everybody working together, but you didn't realize these guys are from Toronto, these guys are from Vancouver.
Right.
Right? So who's rapping in Calgary? Who's rapping in Regina? Who's rapping in Edmonton? It's like
yeah.
So then you go now, who's the black DJs out there that were carrying out the scenes?
Shit.
Then you cross back over to the East Coast, then you're like, yes, Classified, and then you got Quake, then you got Pat Stayed, then you got and then it keeps going down, and and then there's guys like Knucklehead that people rap in, right? And then there's and there's so many people that don't look at where, like, you see Merkley, Snack the Ripper, Junk, all these guys going over the years working, but I can remember the first time I have a Junk and Toki's first single that they worked on when they were like just starting.
Yeah.
West and all that when they were just kicking up. But if you're not an out there DJ or travel or even go do things, especially me being in Winnipeg, I get to do every type of hip hop show. When you're in Toronto, you may go do a Match House show. You and Shortcut will do probably RA, the Rugged Man, and certain people and stuff. But how many black artists and people are going to go to Tech Nine?
No, and that's the thing. You hit it right on the head. There's a lot of Mad Child, the odd time of Mocha Only. We see Mercules here a lot. I've done maybe 3 Mercules tours as like for all the openers. Again, you said Snack the Ripper. who's the other one that's out here all the time from the West? Prada West.
Oh yes, West.
But yeah, you hit it right on the head. There's not a lot of black artists from the West Coast coming here at all.
No, but see, that's the whole thing is, and then you got but there's Pimpton, who's in Regina, who I've been working with years.
Mhm.
Then there's, and you look at Bax Warrior. Then there's if you really look at Bax Warrior, Tech Nine, Prevel, JD Era, myself, Pimpton, Trey Nice, Cast. This stuff keeps going, but you don't really look to see who's what, who was affiliate, who was attached, who did what. And when you're in this music game, everybody acts like they know each other, but how many DJs actually know each other? I know Ivy and Started From Scratch and all these different people and stuff, but you could only name off certain people because of popularity.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking across Canada, name me how many DJs in Winnipeg do hip hop.
You.
Name me a rapper from Winnipeg.
I can't.
Yes, you know, but you do know them though.
I probably do, but I can't even get their names out.
So Shazam, that did that album with Mindbender years ago, he's from Winnipeg and Freak Show. Then if you look at Ordario, who's on the radio in Toronto, he's from Mood Rough. Then if you look at Ismaila, who's on CBC Radio, he's from Freak Show.
Well, flip.
So, if you
maybe people aren't shouting their city out enough.
No, but see, no one's not even that, but the whole history of the most predominant one of rap groups out of Winnipeg was Mood Rough that really went places, right? And that was Ordario and now Dow Jones, who's in Edmonton for DJing. But if you didn't know this, you wouldn't know this. Len Bowen is from Winnipeg, but a lot of people just see him working with Tough Dumpling and all that. You don't know that he's from Winnipeg.
Right. Yeah. You just see you see him with Tough Dumpling, you assume Toronto. Yeah.
You see that. And you see a lot of us is oh yeah, you guys are connected to Toronto. No, where a lot of us is from Winnipeg, Calgary, and different places.
That's really interesting.
Right? Like Jack Mills from Calgary. He was originally from Winnipeg, but in Calgary. You know what I mean? And him and Len Bowen and them been working for years. But if you don't do interviews like these, you're not going to learn the musical history of Canada because everybody just sticks to Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? And then Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Toronto.
Yep.
And maybe Halifax in there, but then Toronto. Right? But people know Halifax because of Trailer Park Boys. People know Montreal because of the Alouettes. People, it's people, you know what I mean? And then people know Vancouver because of the Rascals, and everybody knew Toronto because of Chocolate Cardinal and Lemon Maestro.
Socrates and all that, yeah.
When you look at Winnipeg and everywhere else, who the fuck knows anybody who's from those cities that are blowing up or big time rappers or even went anywhere? So if you look at one of the biggest R&B artists that came out here was Remy Shan.
Yes,
and then
that is accurate.
And then Mayako, who's part of Sugar Jones. So where are we going with this? You know what I'm saying? There's no one touches based on who actually came from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Burton Cummings.
Do that more.
Yeah,
that's a big history lesson. We should do that more.
Well, and I think you could draw a similarity to New York, where everyone thinks of Gangstar as a New York group, but Primo's from Texas and Guru's from Boston.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of the music's getting made in New York for their situation the same way.
From Detroit. Then the Chicago hip hop scene, like Kanye West and all those guys were in Chicago, but they were producing for Jay-Z and them. So if you look at a lot of the music that is being made, isn't actually from the people who live there.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Toronto's hip hop scene, show me who actually resides and was born in Toronto hospital that can say they're from Toronto itself.
Probably very few.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody's from Brampton and all these different areas and from different parts. You're part of the whole concept of Toronto, but you're different boroughs of Toronto. Just like how you got these guys in the States right now, with Jim Jones and everybody and Cameron, everyone going, "Oh, you're not from Harlem. Oh, you're not from Spanish Town. You're not from this, da 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 da."
And then you have the Griselda guys saying we're the kings of New York and they're from Buffalo.
You get what I'm saying? So, and that's another thing too, because a lot of people also from Buffalo used to say they're from Toronto when they were from Buffalo, right? So,
why? But why?
but because a lot of
like
rappers
Buffalo
migrate-
radio played a big role for Toronto hip hop for such a long time. Like WBLK was like what I could get out here in the East End, at least, was from across Lake Ontario.
That was a great show. Okay, I used to listen to
It was.
And on top of that, with Master Plan, because of the radio station, they were being broadcast out there too. So he's like, there's certain places and areas that you could listen to certain radio shows all the way to the next state. But a lot of people didn't get a chance to get that balance because not every college radio station had that much power of wattage to be spread.
That's true.
So you got to look at Detroit, Buffalo, and New York and everything took in like our Canadian hip hop scene a lot because you got guys like Alchemist, Premier, Evidence, and all these guys that will actually play Canadian music.
Right.
There's not like a lot of rap band DJs that pioneer DJs that can name off Canadian artists.
Right.
So when you look at it, we could sit here all day and go, DJ Polo and Marco Polo and this and that and all these different things. But then what do you know the difference between DJ Marco Polo and Polo?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Polo the Don, this, like, do you know the difference?
Right.
Of certain people, like everybody sits there and Mike Will made it and all these different like people, but then I was like, okay, Heat Makers and all these people, but where is Diamond D in this? Where is Kwame?
Yeah.
Where is the guys that are behind the guys, like Lars Professor?
Yeah.
Nobody knows that he engineers for Nas, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things in people's life that a lot of the pioneers actually produce and work for some of us now and support us. And they're still in the picture, but they don't like that lifestyle anymore. The lifestyle is done. Like do you really want to go into a bar now and rap for a bunch of people who don't even know your lyrics, but only know the new version of your instrumental that was flipped with Juice Kid?
Right.
That would annoy me.
Yeah, which I guess is why like Method Man got pissed off at Summer Jam a couple of years ago because no one cared who he was really because it was the wrong arena, like wrong place.
Well, you got to know where to put yourself because that's where these artists now and these DJs are fucking up because you have DJs that don't do hip hop show, don't play hip hop, don't even play the artist that's performing, but want to be the DJ for the night.
Right.
Ugh.
You know how many times I get a DJ like, I don't even know who this is. Then why are you here?
Yeah.
I got into an issue one time with the RA, the Rugged Man show last year where a bunch of kids, everybody jumped on the show, but somebody was pulling beef and saying they didn't want me to DJ. So I said, fuck it. I'm not going to DJ. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And then people, like the way I was treated was a total disrespect to the point where I sat there and said, so you all are going to treat me like this after I put you on all the shows you've ever done.
Ooh.
For one show, you're going to treat me like crap? Cool. So I walked away. And then at the same time while I'm walking, I'm like, I'm the only one in the room that can actually name an R.A. the Rugged Man song and let alone say he's been working with them. And anyways, and everyone went silent. And I was just name me one R.A. the Rugged Man song right now. And they're all like, and I'm just like, so why are you performing here? So you took away from the other artists that actually like him and have a fan base because you wanted to be an opener just because you think it's going to be a big show.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want your name on a poster and
so now the crowd that's in there is all the peers that come to our shows. So nobody came to support you. So now your friends didn't even show up because they don't even know who he is.
There it is right there.
And it just hurts
so
the
you're
whole,
not going to get an old ass
the
head.
whole production.
Right. So you're not going to get an old head that I know that does boom bap and sit there and go, okay, I want to go open up for, Casper or, one of these
Yeah.
rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, or press or certain things because it's not their lane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These guys are going to do great show. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be a great time, but
Mm,
that's not your crowd.
right.
But you want that crowd, but you can't go in there and do something that's not going to impress these kids. Just
Yeah.
like the Mexican situation. They're not into bars. They want to
Mhm.
just get lit and be high as fuck and just sitting there and just shaking their ass. 80% of the times they're not even there to watch the rapper rap just to see if the rapper is going to twerk.
Hmm.
I'm
Male
there
or
to
female.
see them rap.
When
Yeah.
have you ever gone to a show lately that actually you could say, holy fuck, that was a show?
Oh, which one was that?
Souls of Mischief.
Yes, it was the Souls of Mischief. Where was
Okay.
that at again?
I don't know, some basement. No, it was some under.
It was an underground
You
joint.
go down 3 or 4 steps.
It
It was good though.
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
Okay. Then now to go and watch a concert now, like Lauryn Hill, you're going to get an experience.
If she shows up.
Right. If you go watch Ludacris, it depends.
Oh.
Because when Ludacris was on his last show, he had a big shoe, that on stage and stuff, but that was it. And the screen.
Right.
No
That was
dancers, no this, no, like it was just
Just him?
Yeah. And it's
Oh.
height. You know what I mean? And when time changes over time, it's like you understand the pay grade, the difference of stuff. You're doing an arena, but you're not bringing an arena show. You're bringing a club show.
Understood.
yeah.
Understood.
Right. And that's why I like what Method Man said, that he likes being in a smaller environment because it's more interactive than being in a damn festival. Because in a festival, there's no interaction. See, when you're at a hip hop show, you got the people around you, surrounding you. The room is consents to you. Like it's just like in the thing. Right? Because I loved it when I DJ'd for Chaos when he came here. And
that would have been amazing.
Every time I punched out the songs and stuff and the crowd is singing, how many DJs know that ear when to do shit like that?
Right.
Not many.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're rapping over your lyrics, how do you get into a vibe but the crowd sings with you?
It's impossible. It's hard.
Right.
Why do people still rap over their lyrics? That's a whole other story. I can't.
What do you mean? The industry made it popular, everybody made it good, and nobody told anybody stop.
That's just, I get upset when I go to a show and I have to watch them rap over their own lyrics. You don't see many singers do that. I don't see Erykah Badu do that. I don't see Jill do that.
But other artists do that.
I think that's just, why is that now?
Yeah, but the 2 examples that you use are like me saying Mos Def doesn't do that and Common doesn't do. Like, of course they're not going to do that.
I guess I'm just stuck back then. I'm stuck in that era.
But Kodak Black and everybody else would do that. You see, there's a different stuff because I understand to a certain point, you're pumping out hits faster than you're pumping out food these days, right? Actually, you're pumping out hits just as fast as you're pumping out fast food.
Okay.
So how do you keep up with the fast food trends when they, like, after this month, it's gone?
Yeah. So I'd have no choice but to.
So when you go on stage now, you're going to go and perform, but then you're intoxicated. You're doing so much. You're in interviews. You're doing your TikToks. You da. Yes, after a while, you're going to go on stage and have to remember every fucking song you sang. That's cool. But then if you don't practice these songs, if you never wrote these songs, how are you going to remember something that you never put your heart into? Right.
I think that's the key that you just said. You didn't write your songs.
So if you're going in the studio, right? But if you're going in the studio and every song's a freestyle, how are you going to remember every freestyle that you just went in and did?
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Well, and I think it's a shift in the time with technology, because recording used to be expensive. So before you'd waste money on a studio, you'd make sure you knew your songs. Whereas now they're writing it as they record, and anybody with $150 for a half decent USB mic has a studio at home.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to mimic a recording on stage instead of the other way around, where you would have a song you'd performed a bunch of times and okay, now I'm ready to go to the studio.
Yeah.
Spend $1,000 to record this song or something,
Yeah, because
I don't even want to know what your fees are, sir. I kind of am curious.
you see, the things is with people right now is they're losing the soul of music, because nothing is about music anymore. It's I'm gonna go in the studio and I'm gonna add these 4 things in. I like the shorty, she's up in the club, it's just like she loving my body, she calling me hottie. Just like,
I bet you the second or third, for like the first 3 or 4 artists will hear a lot of that tonight.
We'll hear that tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. And then after that, it's just like I started to watch certain artists sit there and go, okay, I'm doing trap now. And it's just like, you're just adding and in between the lyrics. And I'm just like, but I'm like, you're not saying anything. And it's getting me annoyed right now, because like, I don't know how to take this track. And then 5 minutes into the, not 5 minutes, but 5 seconds into the track, you're giving me some kind of vibe. And then after that, it's like, fuck, shit, bitch. I'm just like, whoa, hey, yo, whoa. You didn't warn me. Like,
should have warned me.
You know what I mean? Like, you ever been on stage and you DJ for an artist, and then 1 minute you thinking it's gonna go away, and then it just goes this whole left.
Oh, yeah.
You're like this one kid, he hates on me so hard. And as you know, I don't say names. I ain't gonna call nobody out on their bitch shit.
No, that's fine.
Like, these kids, and that's why people get upset over my memes and shit online. Don't piss me off, but putting out tracks where you're talking about, but like, I understand certain things are touchy subjects.
Yeah.
But warn me if the song's about a molester and you're calling out a molester.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Warn me that you're taking shots at the government. Warn me that you are a hate supremacist and you're mad at the world and everything, but yet you want to go put this shit into your lyrics, and then you're not thinking, I don't want to play this shit because I don't feel comfortable with it. And now you're getting mad at me and saying that I'm egotistical and ignorant because I'm really happy about myself and I stand in a room with confidence when I go and speak on myself. So if you want to sit there and get mad at me trying to sell and promote something when your product, I got to make it look good and sugarcoat it, and you want me to put you on stage and I'm going to lose a crowd, which I've watched people walk out of the venue of being at somebody else's show with these guys and watch people walk out during the show. Didn't even stay for the headline. Just walked out because they're offended by certain lyrics.
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me your girlfriend's in the crowd and she's like, I love you and everything. And you're like, I've got this bitch, she's sucking my dick on a daily. And then you're just like, but your girl is right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes these girls are happy when they're calling them out in the song. And then 2 months later, I'm at another show with you, like, we can't perform that song. What? I'm not working. I'm just like, she's going to get mad if I got to change my whole rap name now. I got to change all those songs because I ain't rolling with those guys no more. Now I got beef with these guys. Now my girl doesn't want me to rap on these lyrics. And I'm like, so we just built a whole persona around somebody I can't put out no more? And this happened with like 30 different artists where I'm just like, I got to give up. There's artists that every time it's like, yo, dog, I got these tracks. All right, cool. We put the album up. Yo, I'm going to jail for 3 years. Huh?
What? You gonna tell me?
Like, Yo, just keep pushing the records until I get home. All right, nigga comes back home. All right, da. And it's just like, yo, what's up? Yo, did you just catch a charge? How do you know? I got a phone call. How did you catch a charge already? You just got home. It's just like, and then and then it's like, then I go work my magic out for you to be at shows and do things and all that, and put you on the, and then you go do things without us. Then you get yourself put back in jail again. Now we're in a situation, and then now I'm in my head going, I can't even fuck with you because you never gonna be able to leave the country.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want this, and you're finding every obstacle to screw it over, it's like, hey, I want to be a rapper. Cool. Yo, I want to do shows. Great. What budget do you have? I don't. Can we just work together? Cool. Yo, so now that I'm famous, my girl's about to be pregnant and I can't do this no more. So I'm about to go get a job right now. So I need to go work this job. So I can't, so if you want me to tour with you, you got to turn around and make it worthwhile. So I need like $150K if you want me to go on the road. I'm like, whoa. I'm just like, well, I make 100K at work, so I got to make it. I'm just like, so go work your job.
Yes, go work your job.
Like, go enjoy your job. You want benefits, you want your things for the rest of your life, go do that. And this has been happening for decades of working with people. Now those same guys that did that to me when they were younger are looking at me now going, shit, wife took everything, this down. I was like, and you gave up your career for this. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was worth it. Like, I've had rappers where everything is blowing up, then their moms come out of nowhere. I'm the manager now. All right, peace. So you're not going to do what you were doing for them for me? I go, it's going to cost you $5,000 to do it. Oh, but you were just doing it. I know, because I was flipping the costs because I was doing it. Now you want to take it over? Go take it over.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But give me the context. I go, no. I go, this is all my context. Yeah. So you're not going to give up your, so you're going to be selfish and hold on to things. I go, whoa, wait.
No.
I go, I wasn't selfish when I built your child up and put my money and time into building with them for you to come out of nowhere and say you want to be the manager now. I
don't like that. Sorry. I'd have beef with that.
Oh, I've had situations where shit I can't deal with. Like one time I got a kid to Motown.
Oh, wow.
And I got a phone call from his mother saying, thank you. We don't need you anymore.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I've gotten guys on tours and concerts to the point where they blew up with music. And, it's like you get to a certain point with people and it's like, oh God, I got 100,000 K on the song. Okay, cool. I don't need you anymore. Bye. And it's just like, whoa, wait, hey, slow. Put a next person on World Star. They did 1 million, did all these different things with certain artists that they went to the industry after, and then the industry ate them alive because
of course they did.
Thought they could do what I was doing for them without me.
That's right.
So once they got in the industry and they couldn't carry the weight of the numbers or what was going on, and they weren't getting that popularity anymore, they had to explain and then get dropped from the labels, and now you owe money for your advance and blah, 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 because you got greedy. And I've been in situations where advance is about to come in and it's like, oh yeah, we don't need you anymore. A grant came in, oh yeah, we don't need you anymore. And I'm just like, cool.
That's ignorant. That's sorry.
You know what I mean? But you get it, but sometimes you got to learn. You didn't handle your business properly. Sometimes you got to understand, you got to go and do things like you learn, and every lesson is a learning, right? So you don't get upset over times. Like I've worked with DJs that we built TV networks, and they just turned around and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, oh, so you did everything, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm going to crash it now. So you're going to crash it because you don't want me to have credit for doing it.
Yeah.
So, I built a bunch of people into a podcast crew.
Yeah.
For them to join together, go on a podcast and diss me and tell me that I didn't do none of this stuff. But I'm to this day still doing what they told me that I wasn't doing. And now they're not doing anything.
Of course they're not.
It's like, it's a world where people just feel that hate is a need and to shut people down is a need. So if I
Yeah.
don't like you, I'm gonna go and attack you. So if you're a rapper and me and you don't like each other, I'm gonna cause beef so you never get booked because I'm not getting booked.
Right. That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna do a track with you and not promote it because I don't like the fact that you're getting clout off the track, but I'm on the track with you.
Oh God.
This
Wow.
is the society we live in.
Wow. I don't know how it doesn't sour you from music altogether, but you love music more than to deal with other people's fuckery, clearly.
Because in every part of the world, you got to understand this. If you got mad every time you broke up with somebody, you're never going to find that somebody.
Oh.
So if you broke, so a musical relationship is the same relationship as you bouncing from basketball team to sports team or whatever, and stuff like that. So if you're not happy here, you may be happy somewhere else, right?
Very true.
And I was watching the movie there with Denzel Washington and ASAP, and
That new one.
what he said in the movie made me realize a lot about who I am because his wife said to him, says, do you still have the love like you used to?
Yeah.
And I miss those days where I used to get a record, pop it in the Walkman and go for a run.
Yeah.
Or get a bunch of records, slap them all onto a cassette or whatever, pop in the Walkman and go listen to the songs and come up with how am I going to blend it together, or if the album is dope, or da 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 da. Because I used to listen to a lot of people. Well, I still do. I listen to a lot of people's demos before they put them out.
Wow.
So over the years, you get to a certain point where it's like, if this sticks in my ear, if my kid sings it, over time, I had different things that helped me structure this. So I had kids at a young age. So when I was like 18, 19, I had little girls running around singing the songs. And if they liked it, I was like, cool. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's good.
Right. Over the years, my kids will be sitting in the car, and if they're doing this and that things to it, I knew that it was a banger. But a lot of people never looked at those things because if it wasn't for my stepkids and my kids, I wouldn't they keep me alive with music.
Yeah.
Because I listen to what they listen to, and then they freak out when they know that I know the rappers or certain things. And when I'm introducing the rappers, I'll be sitting there going, "Oh, I'm on a podcast." I was on the conference calls with a lot of DJs. One time I was in Toronto, and Young M.A. was just blowing up, and we're on a conference call with her, and I was in the studio in Brampton. So I turned around and I connected the phone to the speakers so everybody could hear the conference. The whole room just started to go nuts, and it was just like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell? And I'm just like, this is how a lot of your Toronto rappers made it, but they ain't gonna tell you.
True enough. Why did they tell you though?
Conference call for DJs to say, hey, you get on the DigiWax conference call and you play a record, you got so many DJs and companies that are gonna listen to you like that.
Damn.
And you never know who's
everyone.
Well, the other day I did an interview and I played Feel, Morning Meds, Morning Medi, and Easy, and all three records passed with all the DJs, and everybody was saying that shit, it took Canada to bring back hip hop, and that's what a lot of respect is coming right now because our production. And this is what a lot of people don't understand is Imperative, Navi, and a lot of guys from Canada are producing for a lot of the American rappers right now, the underground scene. Swan and a lot of guys have been producing for years.
Right.
But nobody knows this because nobody's speaking on it. True. And then everybody's so focused on the DJs and the rappers, no one's focusing on the producers. Why 80% of my radio shows is, yes, Canadian American, but it's Canadian producers, Canadian rappers.
Right.
Whether it's American rapper on it, it was still produced by a Canadian.
Wow.
But nobody's
That's
looking.
Crazy.
You tell me right now how many Canadian producers you know have produced half of these hits that are out there that people are actually speaking on it.
I couldn't without embarrassing myself. I know that much.
Like Socrates of all people. One of his samples was used in a song the other day, and I was bananas. Like I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Wow.
and I know he made that beat, so it was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, but
Right.
if you listen to Eric Sherman's album, one of the samples is on there.
Oh shit. That's crazy. All right, sir. You know what? You spent so much time with us, or me. I'm overjoyed that we can talk like this. I want to do another call with you because you have so much to say and so much knowledge that I think we need to just continue to talk more about this. I love the idea of not even the idea, just the Welcome to the True North, that compilation, that alone. We haven't had something like that in years. Why can't we continue to build more on that and just more conversations just to bring more into the Canadian hip hop light and things like that. But I want to respect your time, and I think we went way over, but I don't mind any of that.
Okay. I've just did
Uh,
2 hours of podcasts already, so it's just like
so it's easy. It's easy for you. It's easy for you. You'll have to come back and hang with us. When you're in Toronto, you got to give us a jingle or something and come do this in person because that would be dope.
Well, I'll be there next month. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. I'm supposed to be in town next month, but I won't be in until like March, and we'll be in
Okay.
during the Junos, so we can talk about it then.
Excellent.
I would love that. I really would. And thank you for bearing with me and my big weird bear hug that I gave you back in October. I couldn't help it.
There's a lot of things that people don't understand is that I'm glad to see and be recognized by y'all and respected as in the culture. And we've seen each other for years. We've known each other for years, and I've seen you guys do your thing and all that, but we never had a chance to do this.
Yeah.
And we'd
Very
always
nice.
catch each other at shows, but we never get a chance to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we still got to discuss cooking. We got to, there's so many different stuff that I know that you guys do that in the same support. I respect you guys in the same way for what you've done with the culture and how long you've been carrying it. And we need more of this. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's more exploiting podcasts than actually uplifting podcasts.
Yeah. And we need more uplifting. More uplifting. More uplifting. True. Times are hard right now. The world is going upside down and inside out and backwards and forwards. I don't like any of what I'm seeing. I want to delve into good music and culture and collaboration. That's what I want.
That's why I want to sit down with you and another time I'm going to talk to you because I really need I would like your expertise on some things, especially with what you know in the SoCan world, because that's how we first met. So we never really got a chance to actually connect. So yeah.
We shall do that. We shall do that.
That's the thing. If I didn't go to Canada Music in the first place, we would have never had these conversations. Never. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that. So
it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
And I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Listen, we're going to get in touch. Our battery's about to drop. I don't want this to die on you. So you know what? Stay blessed. Until next time, brother. Thank you. Ciao.